Happy Tuesday. It is Tax Tips Tuesday. This is Candy Martin, and I am coming to you with a few quick tips about tax season. I know the year went by so fast. It's time already again. So I wanted to come on and I wanted to make sure that you guys have a successful tax season. Remember, if you have any questions, put them in the chat, send us an email. We are here to serve you. And so let's dive right into Tax Tip Tuesday, presented by Martin Business Solution LLC, and I am your facilitator for today, Candy Martin. So let's get right into it. April 18th will be the filing deadline thus far, and so we don't know if they're going to do any extensions like they did last year. You know, we had 2 or 3 extensions depending on what state you were in. But as of right now, as of today, April 18th is the filing deadline without a penalty. Okay, so let's make sure we mark our calendar and make those appointments, get in with your tax professional way before then. Don't wait, don't wait, don't wait. All right, so file early is the first tip that I want to go over with you all today. Filing early, kind of got to look at it as if you got to travel for work and you leave extra early to beat traffic. Everyone will make it to the same destination, but depending on when you left, depends on when you arrive. So take that same concept in filing your taxes. You want to make sure you file as early as possible. You want to make sure that you don't get bogged down into the already backlogged IRS shenanigans. And we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on with the backlog taxes in just a second. Next tip, you want to file electronically. If you're still doing paper returns, this may not be the year to do that. They are so behind, and so paper returns always did take second place, but you couple that with the pandemic, with stimulus, with child tax credit, and all these other things that are taking place currently in the IRS. So now you definitely don't want to do a paper return. The advantages of filing electronically is it gives you a way to track your progress, to see what's going on, to see what happened, to get some timeline. The IRS representatives are more able to assist you in tracking your refund or tracking your return. So filing electronically is going to be your best bet. File accurately. You want to make sure, now they're all important. All these tips, 4 tips that I'm going to give you today are important, but this would probably be the most important. Making sure that you file the information accurately. And what I mean by that is that one of the questions may be on your tax return, how much did you receive in stimulus? Well, this becomes a tricky question sometimes because oftentimes we don't remember exactly how much we got, when we got it. And if you're filing married, filing joint, do I count just the part that I got, the count that my spouse got? Now we're divorced, we're separated, or unfortunately they may be deceased. So what do I put in this box? So you want to make sure that all the numbers that you claim on your taxes are accurate, because any error can potentially delay your return, delay any refund if you're entitled to a refund, and if you're doing an offer and compromise, all those things could get delayed if your numbers aren't correct. So you want to make sure that you have the exact number of what you received, and not just on stimulus and child tax credit. You want to also make sure that on your W-2, 1099, 401k statements, your homeowner's mortgage interest statement, all those forms, you want to make sure that when you receive them in the mail, that the information is correct. If your W-2, 1099, or any other form is not correct, if the numbers aren't right, if your name is misspelled, your social security number is wrong, you want to make sure you get that information corrected prior to filing it on your tax return. Because if it is not, the IRS is going to say, hey, we received your return, but the information that you submitted does not match our record. So you want to make sure that the information that you report on the tax return actually match what the IRS have on file. And one of the ways you can do that is to log into the IRS portal, click on your transcript, and see if the information that they have on record is the same information that you have in your possession. We do here at Martin Business Solution. If you need that link to double check your information, send us an email and we'll gladly send you the link. All right, so the last tip that I'm going to give for today is going to be file it all. I know nobody wants to wait, especially for example, let's say you had multiple jobs in 2021, 6 or 7 jobs for whatever reason. Maybe you just start a business. Okay, that's a whole nother story. All right, so you want to file all of your income that you earned in 2021. That's income from Cash App, PayPal, 1099, from gig work. Report it all, because here's the thing: if you do not report it all and it all gets reported, that will delay your return and it could potentially flag you for fraud. So one of the ways that they're combating fraud, which has nothing to do with you just not wanting to wait on all these documents to come in the mail, but that is one of the things that trigger a fraud alert. It tells the IRS this may not be Jane or John because they left off their W-2 or their 1099. So they would potentially become red flag. So that causes delay. And you don't want any delays, and you don't want to have to do any amendments and send in this and send in that. And it just kind of just goes forever after that. So you want to make sure that you're filing all of your income and that you're filing it accurately, you're filing it electronically, and you're going to file it as soon as you can. So here's your homework. I know who wants to do homework. Trust me, it's for your benefit. Gather all of your documents, your ID copy, social security number for everyone that you're going to claim on your tax return, 1099, W-2, contribution statement that you're giving money to charity or nonprofit organizations or your church, things you've donated to Goodwill, and just et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You want to make sure that you gather all of your documents, put them in one file, have them all together at one time. It is best policy to file your taxes in one setting. And what we do for our clients is we have them to either drop the information off, email it into us, or mail it to us. That way we can take the time to prepare everything properly. And then we can go back over a checklist and say, hey, did you have X, Y, and Z? We want to triple, double check everything to make sure nothing is missing and that all the information is accurate. Now, like I said, check the numbers. When I was talking about checking it accurately, double check those numbers. Make sure that everything matches what you have on record. Go through your bank statement. Take the time. This is your tax return. And it's not just about getting a refund. This is the information that gets recorded if you're going to file for schooling, for financial aid, to get a loan, verification of income. You want to make sure that your information that is being reported is accurate. All right. So the last bit of, you got 2 more things you got to do for homework. Register with idme.com. ID.me, my apologies, ID.me. You want to make sure that you go ahead and register and set your account up. Eventually, starting this year, I believe in June, the IRS is going to require going forward that every tax return goes through ID.me, which means you will have to verify that you are who you say you are. This is a part of the initiative. Now, ID.me has been around for quite a while. Those that are receiving Social Security or other government assistance have had to use this already, maybe to get your license on your phone, things like that. You've used ID.me before, but it is now going to be the portal that the IRS is also going to use to verify that you are who you say you are. And this is a part of their $10 billion effort against fighting identity theft and fraud protection. So yes, this is a big deal. I'll come back later and talk a little bit more about ID.me and the fraud protection. So this is actually to protect you. I know it's one more daunting task, something else aggravating that we have to do, but ultimately this is for your benefit and for your protection. And it will also help speed up the process. So don't we want that to happen? Yes, we do. All right, so your last homework assignment is to find your credits and your deduction. Credits are things that you would potentially get a dollar for dollar match. Deductions are things that would reduce your tax liability. So you want to go through your records and find out, do you have anything that you could report on your taxes, such as medical bills that you paid, charitable contributions that you have given, your mortgage interest, your flood insurance, things of that nature, sales tax, things that you have paid, whether for personal and business. Some of these tax deductions and tax credits are for business and some are for personal. But you want to make sure that you copy and cover everything so that, one, that your return is accurate, and two, you get the most, you get the best return possible. And this will also help with your tax professional helping you through the process. So some quick reminders, take a ooh. Now I'm a little bit excited because I am excited. I love what I do. I love helping people with their finances. So this is just like exciting for me. So, but I want to make sure that you understand patience. Slowing down is going to be part of the process. Yes, I know I said file early and hurry up, but what I mean is the IRS is still processing from 2019 and 2020 tax returns. They're processing amended returns, offering compromises. They're still processing collection payments. All of this is still going on from 19 and 20 tax return due to the pandemic, on top of their already understaffed agency. The IRS has been understaffed for quite some time. Whole time has always been a thing, with the IRS, but now it is just imagine, 2-3 years ago, we were on hold 30 minutes and we were griping and complaining. Now 3 hours is like a good hold time. And so you got to remember to be patient. There are 16,000 calls that each representative are allocated each day. That is a lot of calls. I don't know, 16,000 calls. I can't even do the math. So just imagine, so you got to be a little patient. I know the IRS is not my favorite people either, but at this time, we got to remember that they were affected by the pandemic as well. This is the season. If you're going to ever invest in yourself and you've never hired a tax professional, or maybe you've been doing it yourself, whatever the case may be, your cousin, that's not a tax professional, but she's good with numbers, not knocking her. But what I'm trying to tell you is this is the year that you may want to hire a tax professional for several reasons. They have given us like a level of access, I guess we could call it, that would help you if there are any issues. And without the credentials, you potentially won't be able to get the assistance that you need right away. There are other things that you can put in place, and you can truly still do your own tax return. But this tax year, just like I said last year, there were a lot of changes, but this one is just even more changes, along with the backlog and all of the other things that we're already facing from the 19 and 20. And now you have to factor in child tax credit payments, make sure that the stimulus is correct. There's still PPP audits that have to be done. So all of those things are taking place with the same IRS agency that's still processing those 19 million returns from 19 and 20 that are still in progress. So this might be the year you may want to partner up with a tax professional. Of course, I'm advocating for Martin Business Solutions. And of course, I have several friends around the country that are credible and that they would love to assist you as well. So seek out a tax professional. It is, it may be an extra cost, but it'll be so well worth it, especially in the times that we're in. And keep good record. Oftentimes, clients may get an audit and it's delayed. It may be 2 or 3 years later, and they're like, hey, that was years ago. I don't know what that stuff is. So this would be the year that you would want to start keeping up. If you haven't already, you want to start keeping your tax record. I recommend 5 years, some say 3. Hey, keeping the last 5 years of your tax record could potentially help you in case of an audit. It would speed the process up. So I just wanted to kind of come on and give those really quick tips. At any time, if you would like to reach out and schedule an appointment, we are here to serve you. Our website is www.martinbusinesssolutions.com, and there you can click and schedule an appointment. We do have a 15-minute no-cost consultation if you just have a general question. And if you're a current client, send your information over and we will send you out an exclusive link to schedule to do your tax return review. And as always, we're here to serve. If you have a question, let us know. Great talking with you guys, and happy Tax Tip Tuesday. Bye-bye.